Start by taking the cover off. That just pops off. Take the breathing element off here. If we're going to change the plugs, we're going to need that off. We're going to be replacing this tube today. Right here we have a rubber sleeve. This is a rubber sleeve, and there's a connector underneath there with a clip. So we've got to cut this off right here. All right, we'll make one slit about 1/8 inch deep. You just peel that sleeve back. All right. Okay, now after we get the boot off, we've got the little plastic sleeve there, and we need to pop that off. Now we're going to take the wheel off. All right, looking for jack points underneath the car, and as you see, we've got one going forward, then you got the cross member over there. You can put the jack stands on either one of those places. You see it, we've got it here, or you can put it over here on that cross member. Give me some in and out, moving around there to get some reference. Make sure we got our jack in the center, right on the middle of the center point, the center jack point. So we'll always verify. So now we've got the center point, the jack on the center point, the floor jack on the center point, and we're going to put both the jacks stands on the jack points. These Mercedes have real strong jack points. It's not just a beam like in a lot of American cars. You know, high-end boxes sure makes it easier for you to slide around and cleaner. Keeps a neater work area underneath the car too. You can just throw that away. We're going to get the fender liner off so we can get back in there.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to take out the little pop rivets, get the fender well off. We've got a couple of them that are bolts in there, so we've got to have a 10mm socket to get those off. All right, now you've got to cut the boot off down on the crankcase, and it's this line there. You'll see where it connects down there when you get it off. If you turn the wheel all the way to the right, that opens up enough room. Turn that wheel all the way enough to the right, then that opens this room where you can get your arm up in there. Give me some light. Shoot the video. We got that black sleeve that we sliced through, and now we're going to pop off with a little tiny screwdriver. Just break it in half. All right, there it is. That's what we're trying to get off. That black boot right there, that black collar. Got to get that off, and then we can pull the little clip out and pull that out. So, trying to split that black sleeve off there, right there, so you see how we've got it scored. And you get a little screwdriver in that slot, and then pop it off. Okay, now we just pull the tube out. No, that's just the light. It's the way that these fittings work is you see you just got the plunger in here, and it just goes in to the little cylinder both sides, and there's no ridges in there or anything that's going to hold that up. So that just snaps in there. That just snaps in there like that, and then goes down in there. And then over the top of that is that little heat and shrink over sleeve that you have over that. So when you're pulling this apart, now if you can't get it apart or it breaks, then you either have to slit it like we did, or it'll just break on you. That's no big deal. I'll show you here in a minute how you tape that back together. But that's the way this thing works. It's just a little union with two males that go just sliding that O-ring like that. That's all there is to it. We went ahead and put the zip ties around after we did the tape, so it makes extra sure there's one down the bottom. If you can't pull the other tube out of here, either here or down below, you can cut it. I'll show you that in a minute, and then come back and retape it You just score it down the middle and take a little screwdriver. And then you can just take this silicone stretch and seal tape. Works really good. Heat resistant. And just repair that if you have to break it to get that out. And then once that's down on there like that, then that little heat shrink just goes around. The heat shrink goes around the outside of that. So you just shrink it down. It's just a heat shrink. So again, you can use silicone tape instead for that heat shrink. So there's 3 parts. You got to cut away the outer sheath, and then you pull the plug out, and it's just a male. We're going to put this on the hose, and then we're going to put it back on the crankcase. We cleaned it. Now this one up here, we're going to put another hose clamp right here. Another one of these hose clamps here. We don't have it right here, but I wanted to make the video here because we ended up having to cut that 3rd zip tie, the zip tie closest to the block, to the engine. It was interfering with us putting the nipple on. And these nipples, they snap into place. You'll definitely know when it's seated. Much easier to put the hose on the connector first, and then fish that down in there, and then the last move is using the hose to get some leverage on to push it on the nipple.